Hey, how's it going? Back for one more story. So, I wanted to talk more about the book by Napoleon Hill, right? That kind of pretty much illustrates the laws of the universe, right? How the biosphere is governed. And so, I need you to do some things when you do, not if, when you go and read that book. It's like, there's also an audio, like if you want, listen to that, right? It's just as good as reading. It's better than when you actually, if you could say it out loud. So when you're listening to the book or just reading the book, just say it out loud. You know what I mean? Another thing you can do as well too for audio is play it while you sleep, because your subconscious will hear it, right? Because your subconscious is you. And so, and that way you kind of just feed it in different ways, right? It's kind of like marketing. If you hear it 3 different ways, it retains properly, right? So, but as well too, while you're reading the book, I want you to fast. I want you to just don't eat meat. Actually, don't eat meat ever again. Only fish, seafood. That's maybe not from the ocean. Lots of it is kind of fried. Stick of fish from lakes, fresh fish. Because the others pretty contaminated now. But anyway, fish. The reason for that is that just choose fish. And so fast, right? You just have water and just have only berries and vegetables. That's it. It's like, that's the fast, right? And with your vegetables, kind of just have them raw, right? That's your fast. It's like you just eat those. So while you're doing that, read the book and just clean your body, right? Have that cleaning process start. And so with this book, while you're doing that, what it's going to do is it's going to help increase, right, the frequency of your body. So that way you can kind of at least increase the frequency of you. Kind of, say for example, if you're trying to read this book, if you're, I don't know, just dumb as an ox, right? If you're at minus or whatever, and once you're at minus, actually, you will not even go pick up that book. Here's a fact. Here's a funny thing. If you were say at minus 50, it's like you would not even get this far at all. You're just like, say if you actually happen to stumble upon this, right? Only people of a certain frequency will actually continue to go on, because they can understand it, right? Because there's markers all over nature. So nature always wants to tell humans what their future lies, right? They want to, because they don't want them to die. And all of a sudden they know something, they hear it, all of a sudden it's like they really want to tell humans. There's like, oh, how do we tell them? And they can't, right? Because they don't have a voice. And so, believe me, it's just like they would tell humans if they could, but they can't, right? And so, with this voice, is like, we need to capture that again, right? As humans, we need to be able to take that and take that back from, I don't know, from ourselves. That's the funny part, right? It's like we gotta take it back from ourselves, because in most cases, a person who's at minus, say, 50, minus 500, it's like these people are just freakazoids, right? It's like they're not humans anymore. So whatever entities that are existing around their circle and guiding them, I guess, is them. So they would just, they would not be nice people, right? Because that's negative frequency. But you as a person, the more frequency that you gain is just like you can't help but be a good person. It's like it dictates who you are. It's like those numbers dictate. People think like, oh, how come I can't be so smart? It's like, because you're dumb, your food is so dumb. It is like, imagine only living on GMOs as from a young kid to an older kid, and then man, you would just be dumb. I think video games would be great, right? But here's the thing. You gotta ask, it's like, oh, is everything wrong? Is this like, does that mean it's like, is there a God? Is this bad? Is this like, no, right? It's just like certain times for certain things. So if you look at nature, let's study nature for a bit. So if you look at what's happening on TV, all of a sudden you have Game of Thrones, right? And it's just like, it's rough, and all of a sudden these boys go outside and they're all playing swords. Right? It's kind of like, and then you look out, you're there, and all of a sudden your kids are like throwing javelins. They're like, don't die, right? It's because it's the time of this sign, right? The sign of the times. And so you're thinking like, there's like your kids are there, and then you start training with your kids, and all of a sudden it's a time like, that's kind of interesting, cool, right? There's like these young dads are training with their boys because they're so close in age, right? In some places. So really, in essence, they're training. Your training is like for what? It's like, well, for an age, right? For that time when they have to do that. It's like, you think that we're always going to have a time where they have lights. It's like, no, the lights are going to close, right? Everybody knows the writing's on the wall. So, however, right? You just need to act on it before it happens, right? And so that way you can be able to just do something before it does happen, because it's coming. It's imminent, right? It's all there. It's like blah, blah, blah. Nature's told you, right? And you've seen it and you feel it. It's like, it's a feeling. And so everything is planned. That chaos theory that they talk about, that's bullshit, right? Because that theory says it's like, oh, everything kind of just randomly happens. It's like, it's like, wow, right? So randomness runs the biosphere. That's just complicated as fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not easy to run a thing like this, to make sure that everything's precisely timed. It's like billions and billions and billions of tiny little minds working, figure how this happened, and be able to measure time, right? Time can be measured. Time can be predicted. It's like, you can look at a person, right, standing, say, whatever, right, and you'd be able to look at them. Say, for instance, you're able to see them just, you can even look at their sperm, and then be able to look in the future and see like, oh, that kid's gonna go in jail, like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, it's like, sweet. And then you kind of, after a while, how come a lot of his kids are going to jail? And then he's like, oh, because then his cells, right, depending where he came from, his environment dictates he is. And then all of a sudden, all that stuff in the background, right, like your family history, and there's like, history always repeats itself, right? History is just those, I guess, those actions that your family has, right? They always are in the family. They keep it in the family, right? And so it just stays in there. And you wonder that, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, cool. And just there it is, right? That's just what it is. And so, but it's always those entities, though, right? It's like that are always controlling. I always think, let's say, as humans have control. It's like, oh, we have power, we're Democrats, blah, blah, blah. It's like all these things. And it's like, oh, you're all bitches. It's like, you're really actually seeing who you really are. You'd say like, what am I, right? You don't even know what you are, but you think that you're a human, but you're not. You're not a human, you're a beast. And it's just kind of like, right? And so the funny part is, a lot of the people who will think that they're nothing, that they're just like, I give up, right? So if everything happens for a reason, everything, there's not one mistake, right? Because the people who've created this biosphere worked really hard to make sure that everything happened as everything should. So, with that said, then there's a reason why you're listening, right? This is why you went on past this rapture thing, whatever. It's like, okay, well, what next, right? It's like, there's always an end, there's always a beginning. That's just like yin and yang, right? There's always up and down, blah, blah, blah. There's always that. There's always an opportunity, right? But you have to act on it. And that's where this renegade, the renegade, right? It's a renegade as well too, right? You turn into a renegade. You turn into that person the government just does not like. That's when you stand up and says, no, you're not going to treat my people like that. It's just like, oh, fuck, someone's 250. Look at him. He must have had his mashes this morning, right? It's like this food. It changes you at such a weird rate. It's almost like you're just a hormonal woman who just also is having her PMS and also her hot flashes all at the same time. All of a sudden you're just like, well, you're changing, right? And you don't realize why. You're just like, oh, what makes me that? It's like, well, it's just the way it is, right? Because that individual that stands behind you, right? I don't know we have so many names for him. Angel or spirit guide, or right? Because when you're born, a person goes into this biosphere. Here, let's just break this down a little bit. Person goes into a biosphere, right? There's like this is a circle, and almost is like boom. It's like your parents are about to do it, right? It's just like, yeah, there is and your mom just like, oh. Your mom's just, oh, okay, never mind. Oh, digress. Okay, anyway, right? And you're waiting. All of a sudden, it's just like, okay, just waiting in the biosphere. All of a sudden, like, doof, done. Right? Having a smoke. Yeah, that was great. Right? And all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. And she's pregnant, right? But then there's also, there's an angel that's now in the game, right? So these angels, which is like another dimension, right? They want to play in the game, which is an angel dimension. Yeah, we'll call them angels for now. For now, we'll call them angels. So anyway, they want to play this game, and all of a sudden they wait for this thing to be born, and then they want to play that human, right? There's this like, well, that's my ticket into the game, or so they thought. So anyway, they're waiting, and all of a sudden this little baby born, all of a sudden this baby sees it, right? All of a sudden they're like, they can converse with this thing, right? And this language, this baby language, this is like, yeah, that's baby language. And the angels and the babies can communicate, and they're just talking. It's like, oh, how's your day? It's like that, blah, 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 right? It's just like, it's their language. And you think it's like, oh, it's like, you actually pick it up somehow, you can actually figure it out. But it's complicated, right? But it's so simple as well, too. There's this weird nuances. I don't know. If you can actually pick up certain frequencies, you could. But anyway. So they're playing, right? This angel thinking like, yeah, we're gonna play. All of a sudden they get older and they talk, right? They talk with their human. They have the communication until that human either goes and like destroys its body, and it's kind of just wills that angel out of it. All of a sudden something else goes out and takes control, right? All of a sudden, say this person just turn into a minus slowly, right? It's a slow thing. Someone could be very violent, which could be like a violent act, like rape, for example, right? That all of a sudden an entity would enter that person. That person would be different because it's like that person went through a traumatic experience, right? And all of a sudden it's like that thing got possessed, and so all of a sudden that thing is now in that human, and once it gets fed, it's like they're really bad, right? They're the really worst ones you can get, and those are the ones who are like I don't know, Jack the Ripper type people. Like those ones. So anyway, so this angel wants to play this human, right? But they start eating sickly, and all of a sudden they're 300 pounds, and they're just looking at their human. It's just like, I give up. And it's like, oh, you poor guy, you tried. But it's like, oh, just try to kill him. I was trying to get him to kill himself. But they're like, because they're just like, oh, they want to keep playing the game, right? They want to keep playing this game because it's like, because it's this biosphere, this humans. It's like it's a video game, right? Because just we play with the humans, and so really they're at our will, right? And so it's almost like looking at a biosphere with what is it, that little bird would bark at, right? And kind of looking at that. And so you're kind of just controlling the humans, and humans think that they have their own free will, and everything is like, no, you don't have free will. It's like, you're our bitches. But, right? But it's good and evil trying to use that body, right? But the evil is winning the game. Because if you look at like the way society is, it's just like, right? But it's not like everyone's bad, not at all. I'm not saying that humans are bad. It's just like, but the food attracts those really bad things. But their bodies are just a piece of shit anyway. Like, who the fuck would want to play with them? If you ever go to the mall and you look around and look at people, and you're just kind of like, right? He's like, who would I take to me with battle? I have battle tomorrow, so yep, I gotta go out and get some swords and da-da-da-da. It's just like, who am I gonna take for battle? All of a sudden you look around and you're just like, my God, I'm gonna die. It's just kind of like, holy shit, right? and it's horrible. It's just like, humans just forget their role. They don't even know their role, right? The only ones who know their role is Lucifer's people. They know their role. Fuck. They look good as shit. It's like, we can't look like that. Like, my foot. Come on, right? But it's a game. Stupid humans are just part of a game, right? And the cool part is when you wake up and realize that, like the Matrix, and all of a sudden be like, huh, I'm a part of a game. And then after a while, hopefully it kicks in, right? But if a person whose mind is say whatever, it's like, they'll just look at it and be like, yeah, whatever. It will skim off like the water. It's gone, right? It didn't have a chance, right? And so, but people with higher frequencies, like they'll recognize it, and they'll kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting, cool, right? It makes sense, and they'll maybe look into it a little bit more, or listen, right? But at the same time, it's like, it's a law of attraction. It's like law of the universe. It's like you as an angel, right? Had a game. You're playing a game. So you're playing a game through this human, right? Oh, excuse me. I'm actually going up in my frequency, and so as I get to certain markers in your body gets sick, right? Now it's almost like and then it starts cleaning itself, or it starts dying, or things like that. And so that's kind of where I'm at. It's like really gross. Plus weed helps heal it as well too. But anyway, with these humans, right? We're playing the game with them, and trying to get them to wake up. So it's really about, it's like a video game. You're playing a video game all day, and all of a sudden you're playing this game, and they're dying and dying, and they're dying, right? And so all of a sudden your character looks up and he goes, hey, I see you're playing. You're like, what? Excuse me? Right? As your character all of a sudden goes up and it's just like, I see you. He's like, I know you're playing me, right? It's like, I refuse to move. We're like, move forward. It's like, nope. Right? Then we're kind of like, there's something wrong with your video game. And we're like, oh, what do you mean? Right? It's like, that's kind of like what it is. So there's people who are doing cyclical things in life. It's like they're planning, say, their birthday, right? It's like, who cares about your birthday? It's like, just move forward, right? Don't pick certain things in the future and kind of fixate on it. Don't think about that. It's like, why? Why focus on things that don't matter? You should focus on the moment right now and just kind of just look forward, right? And stay happy. And say hi, right? And just enjoy the moment, enjoy life. But a lot of people, they can't. And so the ones who, I don't know, are happy with their life, right? Or have houses and all these things. It's like, it's almost like in the Bible, it said, the people who are rich and all that, it's like, they will never be able to, right? They can't, because it's almost like I'm asking you to do something in such a short while. It's like May 1st. It's like, I need you to go down this road, right? And I'm going to explain all the way from here all the way down to May 1st. And whoever's meant to be on this road will find this link, right? And then they'll kind of just keep going forward. But the thing is, though, this walk is going to be so stressful, right? It's going to hurt. But it's going to train you. It's not about hurting the person intentionally. No, it's about training them to make sure that they can handle that gift. Because that gift is so powerful, because not anyone can just hold it, right? All of a sudden it's kind of like, well, that person's gone. It's just like, yeah, they just weren't meant for it. The holy gift, that's fine, right? Because people have gifts and they go on different levels. And some people, if they're not ready to go, say, down to, say, a 750 level or 400 or whatever, they're just not ready. That's fine, right? Everything has a purpose. It's not like it was just, oh shit, that person's gone. It's like, oh no, that person was not ready yet, but they'll come, right? Just wait. And so, but everything is that. But once you realize that it's set, you can't even do it, because it's like, it's been said already, right? Someone has said it and it's already in forward motion. You can go out and kind of change it within side, right? You could do that, but that would be something else. But anyway, so you have these humans where you're trying to reach them, right? You're trying to but the only way you could reach them is the blood is so it's dirty, especially for the good side, right? So which is the good side. So the bad side, they love dirty blood. So that's why you'll have these people who are not very nice. And if you actually look at their blood, you just be like, ooh, your blood's dirty, right? It's like, you're attracting bad people. It's like, ugh. But if you ever actually like change someone's attitude, say for here's a funny example. Someone at work who's just like, ugh, just asshole, right? Just kind of, ugh, I'm gonna change that person's attitude. He's like, oh, excuse me, sir. He's like, yeah, can I buy you lunch? Can I make you lunch? He goes, for the next 6 months. And I'll bring it here and you eat for, and I'll eat my food. And they'll probably be like, yeah, sure, right? And all of a sudden you bring them food that's very high frequency, like 1,000, right? That's 6 months. But you don't even need 6 months, but 6 months would be great. So anyway, they eat, and they eat all the time, right? That food. So it always would change them and change the frequency over a while. That 6 months, right? That person would be different because of the food. Like, you don't even have to be nice to them. You don't have to say like, you should go get counseling for your assholeness, right? You don't even have to say that. You don't have to do nothing. Like, just changing the frequency of a person changes that person altogether. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to get no therapy. You don't have to go and talk to someone who's $10,000 and say like, oh my god, I suck. Why do I suck? Because it's like, I don't know, maybe you don't suck enough. I don't know, right? It's like, that's the thing. You need to be able to just not fixate on that. All of a sudden, science doesn't even know what the fuck they're doing. They have no clue in hell, but they're making a lot of money on their fucking arrogance, right? And their ignorance is just like, oh wow, they all know. And then it's like the humans, they're gonna just flock to it. You know, if I was to go up to a person and say, like, oh, I think that thing on your mole there is just like, I think it looks like cancer, right? That person, right? It's like, it depends on what that person says. As soon as you had them like that, right? You have them in a like trap. So all of a sudden they say like, right? And they say those words. It's just like, now you do, you fucking little, right? Whoever that person was who did it, right? But that's how these entities, these arc entities work, and start cursing, using a human voice to go curse other people. And that's why people don't even realize their words are so powerful. All of a sudden they just say, man, you just gave that lady cancer, right? Using the law of attraction and using the voice. And as long as you get that host to say it about themselves, oh, there you go, right? It's all trickery. So you have to watch your voice, and it's almost good to just not say anything at all, or just kind of like, oh, I'm shut up, right? That's good, because you're going to learn a lot while you shut up. Because in that May 1st, I would ask you as well too, one of them was just be like, to take a vow of silence and listen, right? And really just get to know people and just humble yourself. So within this year, right, May, I want you, so this is actually one of the things, stop relying on money, right? So just pretend that you don't need it. And you don't actually. And so really you have to figure out ways to live without money. So what you can do is do a trade. So go there and say like, I will live with you and I'll clean your house and things like that, right? Do a trade and they'll say, okay, sweet, right? Because sometimes a person just like, and you can almost say, well, I'll be in your live-in nanny. You'd be like, oh, and I'll clean and whatnot. And it's just like, oh, that's awesome, right? It's like doing that, things like that, right? Do a trade. And so, and not relying on, say if you have a house, it's like, if you have all the mortgage paid off, you're awesome, you're set, right? But if you don't, you'll have to get rid of that. Like you have to make sure that you're like, just, well, not debt free. I didn't say debt free, I didn't say to go pay your debts. No. I'm saying like, just make sure that you're not able to, if you're able to just let them sit for a bit for whatever, but not think about them, right? You gotta be able to just be clear of everything. So really as you're clearing a path for your mind, because your mind has to be in a state of rest. You have to be able to just every day walk down the forest, right? It's like maybe barefoot. If you can do that barefoot, man, like May, that's when the sun comes out, right? So you can do that. You can kind of just be with Mother Earth, and then you can sit down and have like a bathrobe in the sand. And it's like you can get so close that all that is healing you at such a fast rate, right? So that's what is one of the things is to go out in nature and do that. Is like, you can't work. You can't be working by it after this May 1st. That's one of the stipulations. It's like you have to be able to break free, right? And be able to do that. And maybe go down to a campground somewhere and says, here'd be a perfect job actually. Go down to a campground and just say like, hey, can I work here, volunteer for the summer? And I'll just, I don't know, just have a tent here right in this spot, right? Don't even try to take anything like any money away from them, right? I'll just come over here and I don't even need electricity, right? Because you have to live without electricity too. You have to learn to live without electricity. So if the elite can teach their children, why can't we teach you, right? So anyway, if you take, right, to go camping, like just go camping and just live under the stars, right, and just get stoned all the time, and make sure that it's good weed. You got to watch the weed you get as well too, and make sure that it's not given with chemicals. The one that the government has, I don't know. It's just like all the way that they market all this stuff. It's off. It's weird. It's almost like they don't even know what the hell they're doing. It's just like I don't know if that's the levels, right? It's just kind of like I think my levels are a bit off or something. It's kind of like weird, but they're never right. And so it's weird. It's that I don't even know if they actually know how to measure it properly, right? But whatever. I digress. So it's just. But anyway, I'll end this session. Have a good night.